All right. Hey, everybody. Yeah, this is my top 5 decks. Top 5 decks of 2021. This time I have them up. I have more information on the decks up. I don't usually do that. I've been doing the deck openings with, without having all the information about the deck, like where it was printed, how thick the cards are, and all that stuff. And there's other YouTubers that do that, and I recommend them. I know that Magic Orthodoxy does that, and there's other ones that do that, and that's cool. Their videos are also shorter, and they're very detail oriented. And I wanted to do something more where it's kind of like, hey, because you could turn it on and you don't even have to be looking at the screen. You could just be listening to as well. I kind of want to do like a show type format for these because that's what I do. I work on a computer a lot, and I have a lot of devices all around me. You can't see them now, but they're literally everywhere. And I'll have I love YouTube. I watch everything pretty much. And by watch, I mean I kind of listen. There's something about podcasts where it's on and you can't see them. I kind of like it where it's on and I could just kind of glance over every once in a while if they make a talking point or and they show a picture or something, or they're doing a review. Oh, excuse me. I'm actually drinking a drink right now. I'm on break. That's why you're seeing me make all these videos too. I'm on break, doing something fun. I want to add some stuff to the community. I know we have a really small community. The card and magic and cardistry community is really small. And so that's what the videos are about. So if you see that they're like, what, 25 minutes? I'm just going to be talking. I have a friend that I sent this to. I sent him a video for one of the reviews. He's like, what, 20 minutes? Ain't nobody got time for that. And that's cool. I understand if you want to find the information when you do the search for or the videos come up. You can see some of the videos there that show up. But yeah, let's get to the point because I don't want to just ramble on. So I have top 5 decks of 2020, and I want to talk about why I chose these decks. Now, there's a lot of reasons why, and I'll go through each one why. A lot of these aren't broken in fully, and they're not in any particular order. So now I don't like one more than the other. And I have some decks that I'm going to say are honorable mentions for the year. So I'll start with this one. This is and I have the information here. This is the ZDV2 deck, the retro deck. And this is by the December Boys. And let's see if you can see that in the camera there. December Boys, it's really cool. It has this, if you remember, King's Wild Project did a whole series on the VHS theme, which is really cool. I love that deck too, and I'll do I'm planning some other stuff to talk about their stuff as well. But yeah, this one was really cool. I love the December Boys. They're great. I watch the videos on YouTube a lot. Thank you so much for making those videos for the community. It's really cool. There's a lot of tutorials. I would look them up. Tons of really good cardistry tutorials. And I liked his first deck as well. He puts in his deck, and I'll open it up before I go in. Look at that. It's the side deck thing, which is kind of cool. I've seen a couple of decks this year that have been doing this, and I love it. I think it's cool. It's neat. This looks like an actual VHS, like you could just pull it out. Even has that style. This is the first. So there was 2 printings of this deck, of the tuck box. I mean. And I think the deck is limited to 2,500. I have the info up here. I believe it is, 2,500 retro and 100 gilded decks. So he did 100 gilded and 2,500 retro, which are these, and it's the same deck, only it's gilded. And every deck comes with 4 solid green cards. Which I took them out. So these are all the decks I'm going to show you I've already opened. So this isn't hey, let's open some packs. This is me showing you decks that I have opened and I've played with. So I've actually have touched them. I don't just like the art, although the art is cool. And this design is really neat. So I think the story about this design is that this was done for a contest. It was done. They had an open and people voted, I think, or they chose. I can't remember exactly how they did it, but yeah. So it's cool, right? It's very colorful. And when I saw it, I was like, oh, they're making another deck and they're doing a contest. That's neat. Excuse me. Wow, I'm drinking this drink. I'm chilling. I'm relaxing. I'm doing this video. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right, so yeah, check out this back design. It's awesome. It is like what? It's got a lot of paint. So I'm not a fan of decks that have a lot of ink. So whenever they did the design, I was like, you know, I want to support them because I love his videos. Like they just put a video, it's cool tutorials, and I've used them. Like I said, thank you very much for that. And he's a cardist, so he knows what he's doing. Like, you know, when you see him talking and you see him interviewing, he plays with cards. I've watched the way he dribbles, and that's another thing I notice is the way someone dribbles, you can tell if they know how to use cards, right? Oh, and by the way, I changed the frame rate recording on this, so I usually do it at 60, so the dribbles will look pretty clear. I don't know what they look like at 30, so I guess we'll find out when we edit the video. But you can tell, I've watched him dribble, and I was like, yeah, that guy knows how to use cards. And not only that, the way he's like handling them, you know? So he knows what he's talking about. So he's not just going to make something that is crappy. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to trust him. I wouldn't have bought this if I didn't know if it was him. Again, because of the amount of ink on the back. Ink really affects cards. And also the pips. The pips were like, they were very, as you can see here, they're incredibly detailed and there's a lot of color. And when I got this, I was like, what? How do they do this? Like the ink doesn't feel excessive. The cards aren't slimy at all. I love the aces. Let me pull all the aces out. The aces are freaking awesome. They're simple too. You know, a lot of times they'll do an ace of spades that's better than the other cards. That's kind of a typical card design trope, if you will. All right, so check it out. These 4 aces, they're all pretty similar. And actually, I'm working on a deck too that's follows the same kind of format where the aces, all the aces on. Nah, actually, that's not true. That was a prototype, and I'll show you all sometime. But anyway, so these, they're like none dominate the other, so they're all kind of equal in a way, you know. And I love the clubs. Look at that. That's a cool clubs. I think it's their logo, their December Boys logo. Yeah, it is. See the logo right there. See, that's cool that they did that. And the clubs is my favorite suit. Yeah, so love these cards. They feel so good. They're like, and okay, so this deck, I broke it in some, and I get to a point, what I like to do is and check this out, like when you fan them out, they look pretty good. One of the things that's really cool with these is when you dribble it, when you spring them, they look pretty cool. And only thing that I have a comment on is the direction of the Z on there, or the X, or the double pyramid thing that's going on. Is when you do your like oh my, I can't even remember the name. What is going on here? Maybe because I'm on stage right now, I don't remember. But whenever you do some cuts and you twirl the cards, they don't, the spinning kind of goes against. Like I kind of wish the highlight was like if you would mirror the image basically. So whenever you do like this kind of stuff, you know, the cards flow better. That's the only, and that's not even a complaint. That's just me being a jag, you know. I'm just like, hey, what can we do here? But yeah, I love this. Let me take off this watch. I love these cards and the color, and they feel, like I said, so they're so good. So what I like to do is when I get a deck and I'm like, oh, I like this deck, this is a good one, I'll go online and I'll be like, are there more? Can I buy more? Because I always, like I said, I always buy 2 decks. And when I buy 2 decks, I will open one, leave one closed just in case it goes up in supreme value, and then trade it for other decks that I like and within the community, or sell it and then buy more decks with that money. But this deck, yeah, like I'm gonna open the other one. I'm gonna break this one in, and what I do is, like I said, I break it in, and I'm like, let's savor this. It's like wine. It's like, oh, this is good. But yeah, so I love this stock. It came out good. The ink, I believe they're thin crushed. They are, and I think it says on here, unrivaled, buttery, smooth, crushed stock. They're very good, very good. So this, like I said, this is not number 5 of 5. This is one of the 5. You know, I love this deck. I just started with this one randomly. I know that there's 2 versions of this tuck, and people were complaining that the tuck was a little tight. It is. They're a little hard to get in. As you can see, I'm having a little issues here. Get it in, but whatever. I mean, Oh my goodness, that is pretty tight. They probably expand with the heat of my hands and the lights. I got more lights because I'm trying to be all, you know, when you see people on YouTube, they're doing like all these, like, they're doing, what do they do? They're doing all this, like, they have all this camera stuff and lights. It's like, whoa. All right. Okay, cool. So I was going to put that away. So let's do this. Here, we'll put them over here. I'll lay them out as we go for people that are just skipping through. I know, like I said, these are long form videos. I don't get offended if you skip through. Go ahead. Like whatevs. We have a really small community, so I'm not looking for algorithmic yada yadas or whatever. All right, so number 2. Here, let me bring up number 2. So this one, and like I said, they're no in particular order. I'm just clicking on the tabs here so I have the information. Oh, this is a fun one. This one, when I saw this, so I like this deck a lot because it's first of all, it's two of my favorite, and 2 that have inspired me a lot and have done a lot for the community. Oh my goodness, so much for the community. Yeah, so Anyone, which if you don't know, is Anyone Worldwide, and they have done, you can look them up on YouTube, and done a lot of stuff, a lot of cool cardistry videos. And yeah, thanks again for your here, let's do this, for all your tutorials and stuff. Like, I've learned so many things from you. Let me go to the website. I have and I know that this is, like I said, it's ad hoc, it's long form. I'm just gonna talk, and you could skip ahead. I want to make sure I get the names right because they all blur into my head. Yeah, okay. So there's 2. It's Tobias Levin and Nicolaj Honoré. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Honoré. So I watch a lot of Tobias Levin stuff. Excuse me. So yeah. So let's see. Wow, I'm burp central. This beer is like, I'm drinking a beer right now, and it's pretty frothy. All right, so these cards. Let's go over the thing first. So Dan and Dave, everybody knows this logo. If you don't know this logo, welcome to the club. I didn't know what it was. I remember when I first started getting into cards and cardistry stuff. And I've always loved cards, but I never got into the hype stuff, you know, like the underground and all that. And I got to this, and I don't know how I ended up there. I had moved to California. I was going to San Diego a lot and watching and YouTube. And I want to say maybe it might have been Chris Ramsey, one of his videos. Something kind of led me to it. And I started like doing tutorials and learning a lot. But this stuff here, like this look, people love this brand, and they're great. They do a lot of good stuff. Like, I started to learn about it, and I missed out on some of their mats. I wanted to buy one of their mats. I know 52 Cards, another really good site for tutorials, magic tutorials particularly. And he also has some good cards, the mint playing cards, which are really great. And I'm going to do one of those open for 52 Cards. 52 Cards is also a really good site. But these guys, anyway, so Dan and Dave and Anyone Worldwide do this collab. Smoke and Mirrors is what it's called. This is version 6. And I love the tuck. They have the checks, which are from Anyone Worldwide, and the DD logo combined, and the color red. I'm not a big fan of red. It's like in my top 5 favorite colors. My favorite color is yellow. But these cards are bold. The color, look at that. Look at this. Whoa. See, they're still new. Oh, they're so good. These are still new. Because like I said, you open a deck, and I love how fat the borders are too. I open a deck, and I'm like, whoa, these are good. I'm gonna break these in. It's kind of like whiskey, right? You open a bottle. I don't drink whiskey, but I'm just kind of saying what other people say. They open a bottle of whiskey, and then they're like, oh, this is a good one. Don't share it with the neighbor, you know? Don't drink it. You drink this one by yourself. This is kind of how these cards are. I'm not going to put these cards out on the table for my family to play with some poker, you know? I'm just not going to do that. Yeah, because they're good. Sorry, I was looking over here. I was like, this cable is literally in my view. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I can see it. It's driving me crazy. I'm gonna move I'm learning all this YouTube stuff. Like I said, I'm just trying to make stuff for the community because, we're a really tight community. I was just saying this. I'm in a chat group. There we go. That's much better. I'm in a chat group. I don't know I hope the audio is still as good as it was before. But yeah, I'm in a chat group on Instagram because there's a lot of card collectors on Instagram. And, I was like, dude, our community is really small. It's not big. And, I think my joke was like it's five guys and one girl or something, and it's tiny. But yeah, but look at these cards. Look at this. What? Look at those colors. And if you see some of my other videos, which I don't have many of, but red comes out like it looks kind of orange or something. Right now I got these extra lights. I'm hoping the camera picks it up better. But these cards, like, look at that. They're so bright. And, a lot of times you'll see people do the fan. My fans aren't that good. I need to get better at the fan. I've watched, again, a lot of good tutorial videos on the fan online on YouTube. I'm more of a spring and dribble guy. Yeah, that's good. Like, they're thin crushed. These are good. They already feel broken in. They ferrule great too. Look at that. No, that was a bad ferrule, but they ferrule really good. Yeah, these are great. Standard faces, except for the take back standard faces with the Anyone Worldwide art stuff, which is actually kind of cool. I don't mind it. That's his Ace of Spades that he usually uses. And the standard, everything else is standard, which is good. You could play if this deck gets really broken in. Even then, I wouldn't play poker with it. I wouldn't let other people, because other people, they're eating chips, they're eating avocado with their hands. Like who does that, right? But they do that. Your friends do that. Your family does that. And then they touch the cards. It's like, dude, no. Cards you got to wash your hands, wipe them off if they're sweaty, and then you can get these beautiful. You can actually still do a fan. So yeah, so this is one of those decks where, like I said, I got to practice my fan. There's a lot of people that can fan really, really good online. There's a lot of good tutorials. For some reason, I never really practiced the fan. Love the tuck. It's so good. I love this tuck. It's so simple. The red is good. So that's number 2. All right, number 3. This next deck, I'm going to go straight to this one. I'm going to skip ahead. Like I said, it's no order. And by the way, these are limited 3,000 each color. There's other colors. I think there's a green one. There's a blue one coming. The blue one might be out by now. I don't know. I know there's a green one. I almost bought the green one. These are pretty expensive. They're $25 a piece. These are the ZD V2. He has some left. If you go to his website, they're they're at 3. It says $15. Okay, I'm reading the UAH. I think they're in the Ukraine. Yeah, they're in the Ukraine. So $3.99 UAH or $15. Not sure if he ships out of there, so that would be interesting to see how much the shipping is. Yeah, so that's good. Okay, so next one up, this deck here. I love this deck. When I saw this deck, let me move this tab over here so I don't lose count of where I'm at. This deck is awesome. So I'm a big fan of Jurassic Park, the movie. Look at that dino. And you see how this cellophane was so easy to take off. Love this back. And I have a display case. You can't see it. Maybe I'll do something where I take cards out of there and open in the future from the display case. But these cards, I love it. So when I was in art school, Jurassic Park had just come out. It was like a big deal. There was a lot of artists working with Steven Spielberg. Steven Spielberg hired this artist, William Stout, to work on those movies, right? And as an art student, you're like, these are the people at the forefront that are doing stuff. Like, look at that. It's really cool. It's like, it has this like Conan era type stuff, but everything kind of makes sense with regards to the back design too is the one that got me. So I originally, when I saw the box, I was like, excuse me, I don't know what it's gonna be, And I probably shouldn't drink a beer next time that I'm doing one of these because I'm burping all over the place. But yeah, I didn't know what the cards were gonna look like, and Actually, that's not true. I saw the back design first, then I saw the box, then I saw the back design again. So I saw the back design and I was like, what? Those are awesome. I want them. Like, look at that. Look at how clean that is. And the cool thing is it has that bicycle. It even has the bicycle center wheel there. If you look at any bike deck, they have that. And you, as a magician, you need to know this. Every time you perform magic, there is this like standard in everyone's mind, which is like kind of like the thing that bicycle has. It's awesome. Is that if it doesn't look like a bicycle card, people think you have some kind of trick deck. And they don't even know anything about magic. They just know, oh, it might be a trick deck like this. Trick deck. But you can play poker with this and stuff. But if you're doing magic, these kinds of backs I feel are the best, personally. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what y'all think. But yeah, so check it out. So these cards feel great. I know they're thin crushed. They're made in the USA. I believe they are USBCC. Yeah, they are. They're printed. They're printed by them, and they're unbelievably nice. I think they're thin crushed. I know they're thin crushed actually because they feel thin crushed. I don't even have to read that, but look at these faces. This is the best thing. So you could play. Look at that. That's cool. And every one of them is just like that. Looks. This is the kind of like when you buy decks. When you start to get into decks, you see this a lot where they do like fancy stuff, you know, with the faces. Sometimes they go overboard, whatever. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're classy. And then sometimes you get this, where you get this like ace type of look that has art on it. And it's like, it looks as important as an ace. And that's kind of the feel I get from this deck. It's like every card feels as important as even those, like what is that? Look at that. They're all so like random, but yet not random and cool. Like a lot, that's another thing. A lot of times you get these random cards and they're all like, that looks like an ace, but it's not. It's a 9 of diamonds or a 9 of spades. Oh man, this is good. Okay, King of Spades is cool, because it's the king. This is a cool card. They use this in their advertisement. But yeah, this guy is awesome. Great artist. And to be said as well, it could be kind of a, bad that they all look like aces, but I don't know. I like dinos. I like, and this is by Art of Play, by the way. I like Art of Play. I love this back. My favorite thing in the whole deck is, the faces are cool. Usually for me, the number one thing is the back design. Back design here is great. So good. All right, so that's number 3. I think we're going kind of long here, but again, like I said, this is, people can skip forward. I don't care. All right, let's do this one. Fontaine. Everybody knows Fontaine. Or maybe everybody. I always think everybody likes cards. Very few people. It's a very niche community. These are cards. These are the Fontaine collab with Matt McCormick, which is an artist. Reason I like these cards, number 1, is that cowboy. That is awesome. So when I was, I'm from Texas, and I grew up in Texas, and when we were in art school, or in regular school, elementary, we would have these Texas artist competitions. And yeah, Texas artist, you have to draw Texas stuff. So it could be like I remember like one of the things I always did, because it was like the easiest in a way, and you could just kind of get, like, you could just do it and get an A in the class. I would always draw a boot, like a cowboy boot. That was my thing. Draw a cowboy boot, get an A. And then one time my cowboy boot got accepted into an art competition. I didn't win or anything, but it was cool. It was like in a big display, like in a gallery, and it was just a cowboy boot. Maybe because I did cowboy boot so many times that I was like getting really good at it, because I just kept practicing cowboy boots. But yeah, so let's check it out. So I saw these and I was like, dude, cowboys. And I don't know if you can tell, but it's not one solid color. There is like a gradient, like they're a little darker on the outside and they come in. But I like light cards. I like them especially because I do a lot of like twirly stuff, and I always do the same move there because it's one I can do with a new deck of cards. Right now I'm learning Around the World, but you can't do it with new cards. You have to have a broken in deck And you know what? When we get to the honorable mentions, I'll talk about a broken in deck. I have those a lot. So yeah, so these, I love the fate, like the pips, all drawn. And they look, at first, like at first glance, they look, you can tell, right? They look just like regular pips. But then you look and you're like, oh, they're hand drawn. And they look good. Like they don't look bad. Like they're great. And I love that. Look at that. That's cool. Cowboy action. Yeah, so these are great, and they're thin crushed. I know we've done 4 thin crushed. Actually, all the decks this year I think might be thin crushed because I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't choose any. I'll be honest with you. The non-thin crushed decks I've been using this year have not been from this year. Maybe there's some non-thin crushed decks that are out that I have that I have not tried or haven't opened, because a lot of all of them, they're all thin crushed. So yeah, that's it about this deck. I have nothing else to say other than I really liked it. I love Cowboys, and I saw this and I was like, I love how the little lasso kind of goes over the F. He does this with his logo, and I have no idea who Matt McCormick is, but he's an artist. And when he came out, I was like, who is this guy? And I went and looked at the website, and he does a lot of this cowboy art. And like I said, it really struck a nerve with me in a good way, in the sense that I was like, man, I remember when I had to draw all that cowboy stuff. And I was like, I really miss that. And I love him. Look at that. That's cool. We used to go to the rodeo too as kids. It was neat. All right, so last deck, which is, like I said, there's no reason it's the last deck, is this deck, the Slicers. This is the Golden Apple. I believe this deck is limited to 3. Oh, and by the way, the Matt McCormick deck is limited to 5,000. And it's sold out. Fontaine's usually sell out. You can buy it on the second. You can buy it on the second market for 20. This is 25. I think this is 15, like I just said, with the Ukraine. But I don't know what the shipping is. Yeah, it's $15. I don't know what the shipping is. But yeah, these were $12 when they came out. These were limited to 3,500. And a thing about these, when you buy these, these kinds of from the Organic Playing Cards Company, which is the people that make these, they give you these little passports. And there was a season there for the summer, I quit buying decks for a while because I have so many decks. And yeah, we were in the pandemic, no one was really going out. There was no trading, nothing. So yeah, so I was like, I'm gonna take a break. And I had this passport, and I'm missing one sticker. I got this on the secondary. I missed the sale. A friend of mine was like, hey, they're up online. And I was really busy, and I didn't have a chance to go get them. But I'm missing one sticker to get this deck. So what they do is, every time you buy one of these decks, you get this little passport. This is this year. I believe this is 2020. I hope I can still get whatever deck was the 2021. But yes, or if they're the same one. I'm not too certain how they do that. But yeah, I'm missing one. And this is my favorite one they've ever done. This one is awesome. The tuck, it's okay. I'm not going to lie. It's okay. It's cool. It's kind of simple. That's cool. They got the little, I don't know if that's actual gold ink, but man, I love it. It's really shiny. But yeah. So these are also thin crushed. USB-C. They're all USB. So are we sensing a pattern right now? Now I'm going to tell you right now, I don't really, and the 2 honorable mentions are not USB-C. And this is the only reason for this is look at these cards. Look at that. That is classy. And their other cards, they're cool. They're kind of funny, in a way. They have this humor to them. They don't take themselves too seriously. Like these, they're a little more chill. But these feel, of all of these feel the best. Can you hear that? I don't know if that got picked up, but I whispered, these feel the best. These feel so good. Look at that. What? And they, what are they fan? I actually haven't fan with these. And they look good. Look at that. You know? These are so good. And I there was one company, SoCal Playing Cards, .com, where I buy a lot of my cards from. They had a bunch of them for sale, and he like put them on sale for like real cheap. Like they sell at 12, which is already a really good price, by the way, for these kinds of cards, these designer decks. But the inks, look at that. The gold on here is, you know what? I'm glad I saved this for last, because this, probably of the 5, this is my favorite one. Like, they're just so simple and classy. So I got a couple of these. I wish I would have got more. They feel great. I'm definitely going to be using these a lot. And they do the standard. Oh, wait, actually not true. They do standard, but they're the red is gold. And they always do the ace. They always do the funny ace. I believe they usually do the other aces as like, yeah, the standard. But they always do it like a cool little, and you see how it's got this like, it's not all like serious. It's kind of like, hey, it's like a little cartoon tree, you know? Really chill, really cool. Okay, so this is, I'm going to say this is my favorite deck. Man, they only made 3,500. Actually, that's kind of a lot. It's hard to sell decks, you know, now. During the pandemic, it was pretty easy. They were selling out, like these guys were selling out in like an hour. Now it's a little chiller. People are going out spending their money on, I don't know, Ultimate Frisbee or something. Okay, so, cool. Slicers. Really cool. You know, I kind of wish the tuck was, it's not fair because they have the coolest, you know what I mean? And like these other tucks, this one's kind of, it's okay. It's okay. It's all right. It's not too bad. They have the whole caramel theme. All right, so honorable mentions. So I'll start with this one. I'm going to do the other one last, and you'll see why. This one was Xavier Spades. I believe this came out this year. USBC. This is Xavier Spade. Again, another YouTuber guy. Does a lot of tutorials. Go to his website or his YouTube and check out his tutorials. He's a really good teacher. He's really good. I love his stuff. This deck, I have put this deck on the shelf. You could tell how much I use it. I practice with this deck a lot. So I'll use it. It gets to a point where it's like, you got to stop using me, bro. Take a break. So then I put it away. And for this one, it's like, it's so good. It's not thin crushed, right? So, and the reason it's not in is I'm not a big fan of the dark, the back, but the cards are really good. And you could see, like, if you look closely, you see all those little, or maybe I just have really dirty hands. But the ink seems to like come off. I don't like the black inks usually when they do stuff. But this deck, I've been using this deck so much. And again, it's not my favorite deck, but I know I can throw it in the gutter and punch it and hit it and then kick it and then kick it again and then punch it again, and then it's still good. Like, look at this deck. Like, you would not know. It looks like it doesn't look that. The only thing you can tell is maybe, I don't know if this is coming up in the but you could see this middle from doing this, you know, and this. It's yeah. So I use this a lot to practice. And right now, what have I been practicing lately? Like I said, there's the Around the World, which I just started learning like a couple of days ago. But I don't even know. I think I did this a lot. Skirt with that. I think I did skirt with it. I've been doing other like cardistry stuff with it, you know, just like messing around. Let's see, can I do some? But yeah, it handles really well. Yeah, so I like this deck a lot. So this is honorable mention 1. I don't know if he has any more in stock. I would find out. I like the tuck, the black tuck. And I'm going to do another video on this. I'll open it brand new. It's in my display case. I have this deck in my display case. I think it came out. You know what? Did it come out this year? If I'm wrong, y'all. Ooh, this is going to be embarrassing. Let's see. Xavier. Okay, so let's check this out. These came out pretty recently. I'm like very, very certain they came out. I want to say they came out this year, like, because he was emailing, and I saw him in a convention, and his cards had been out for a while. I want to say they came out. When did they come out? Beginning of the year sometime. I think he did a video, and like in the video, it's like winterish, so they might have come out like January, February. I could be wrong. Again, oh no, so this is 9 months ago. This thing I'm looking at. So yeah, it did come out. They did come out about 9 months ago. All right, cool. So I hope I'm right. Regardless, really cool deck. You could find it online. I don't know how many he printed. Didn't look that up. It is a honorable mention. Very, very cool deck. This is the last deck. And I'm doing this deck last for a reason. This deck here is the Exquisite 18 deck. There's only 500 of these printed. You can still get it. That's $20. This deck right here is 15. You can find that deck pretty easy, I think, right now. Maybe secondary market. I don't know. It's Xavier Spade. He does have a huge following on YouTube. I'm not sure how that's looking, but you could probably get this deck. You could probably get this one too. Pretty good. You can easily get that. That one's 25 though. Kind of nuts. So is that one. You can still get both of these. This one you can get on secondary. This one they're still selling. And this one they're still selling as well. And this one is number 403. 500 is also a side loader. Now, the reason I did it last, so this is a very special deck. I was at work and they did this presentation. The 52 cards plus Joker club, and they sent me a text like, hey, we're about to go live. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, I'll watch this. And as I was watching, the dude that makes these was like, oh yeah, we have these Conjuring Arts. And he started explaining how they made them. And I was like, what, that's cool. And then he showed the back. And I love this back design. It is so, like, classic, I guess. I don't know what the word is. Super cool. Love it. Yeah. Look at all this color. Why did I do them last? There is a smell about these cards, and I don't know what it is. It's the stock. They smell like spice. Was the only way to explain it. They have like I just walked into a restaurant in another country. You know, like, you know, when you go to a new country, and whatever country you're in now, you go to a new country. They use different spices. They use different. I don't know if it's the stock they use. Look at those. Look at that though. It's like this off, like super navy. It's the colors on here are really great. So what's really special about this deck is they have it's 9 PMS printing. It's from EPCC, and it's apparently like it's really hard. It's a big deal that they can do 9 colors now. Yes, that's what he's saying, and I like it. It's a special printing process. The only thing is they're vibrant, not only in color, but in smell. Like, it's like, whoa. So I played with these for a while. They feel freaking amazing too. Like, they're not thin. They feel like thin crushed, but they're not. And right there, I can taste, I can smell. It's very. I don't know what it is, but I love this deck. I bought a bunch of these. I will break these in. Oh, let's talk about the faces. So obviously they're a little different, but similar to standard. You could play a game of poker with these, easy. And apparently, I think this was designed by the King's Wild Project, Jackson. I believe that's what they said. I could be wrong. Let's see. It might be in the additional information. No. Somebody designed this. That's an artist in the industry. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong there. I could take that back. But yeah, the ace is apparently designed by someone important. It's an artist. So yeah, these, look at this. These are so cool. Oh, I love them. Love them. Except as soon as I use them, I got to put them away. I'm going to go play with them outside. Oh, and they have a similar issue to the ZDV, the way that these decks work with this side. All right, so that's it. 2 honorable mentions, 5 decks. That's 7. Yeah, and I have been talking for a long time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. If you like these videos, please post a comment or something. I know our community is small. I'm not promoting these videos or anything. I'm just making these to have content out there so other people know about cards. And I really enjoy making these. They're fun. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching, and I will see y'all later.